476 days. That's how much time has elapsed since the voluntary suspension of cruise operations in the United States back in March of 2020 at the beginning of the pandemic, and July 2nd, 2021, when the first cruise ship sailing from the United States is currently slated to sail. Hello everyone, this is Zach from Adventures in Coriolis. Thanks for tuning in today. We have a summer cruise preview because hey, cruising is back and I'm going. I hope you're joining me. This is Adventures in Coriolis. Let's get into it. Thank you all so much for watching. Exciting times ahead because cruises are resuming from the United States this summer, actually in just a couple of weeks. Now, before we get into that, we have seen some of these cruises already started up in the Caribbean and the Bahamas. Of course, Royal Caribbean and Celebrity Cruises have both been operating cruises from St. Martin and from Nassau down in the Bahamas. And so far, it seems things have gone pretty well for those. I think the Royal ship just completed its first sailing and everything went just fine. I'm actually going to be on the third sailing of that. So just in about a week, I'm going to be headed out to Nassau to board that ship. So the last weekend in June, make sure that you're subscribed and watching here Adventures in Coriolis because I'm going to take you along on Royal Caribbean's Adventures of the Seas with me. That's just the first of 3 cruises that I'm going to be going on this summer, and I'll talk a little bit more about those in just a minute. Now, from the United States specifically, on July 2nd, Royal Caribbean's Freedom of the Seas will be the first cruise ship from a major North American cruise line company to set sail from U.S. ports since March of 2020. And it's going to be very much welcome. I know we've all been highly anticipating cruises returning. We've been going from cancellation to cancellation to cancellation, and news of more cancellations and protocols that just never came to be, but now it's finally happening. In fact, a sure sign that things are headed in the right direction. Just the other day, the CDC dropped their travel advisory for cruising from very high to just high. So it's still, up there, but it's not very high. It's improved a little bit, and that's for only vaccinated cruisers, and the risk is still very high for those that are unvaccinated. Speaking of which, a lot of cruise lines have been announcing protocols on their ships once they do start sailing in July. I know on the cruise I'm going on from Nassau, it has a little bit different protocols, it sounds like, from the cruises that will be leaving from the United States that are Royal Caribbean ships. On that cruise from the Bahamas, do have to be vaccinated, do have to have a COVID test just before sailing within, I think, 5 days of arriving. You also have to have a Bahamas health visa. So a lot of protocols have been put in place to ensure that those cruises go smoothly. Now, I think that the protocols are going to be just a bit different on the cruises that embark from the United States that are Royal ships. I did read some about masks being required in enclosed spaces and things like that. I won't get into all the protocols here because I don't want to get things wrong for you, so check those out for yourself if you are going on one of those cruises. I do know from Carnival Cruise Line, who is anticipating to restart their operations from Galveston, Texas on July 3rd with the Carnival Vista, and then from Miami on July 4th with the Carnival Horizon. Carnival just announced their have fun, be safe protocols, and they said that vaccinated guests, which is primarily all they're sailing with, 95% of guests who sail on a Carnival ship, at least when they're starting back up, have to be vaccinated, and there's only an allowance for 5% that are unvaccinated. Now, of course, a lot of children still can't be vaccinated because there's still a certain age requirement to get the vaccine. So Carnival has implemented exemption procedures. So if you and your family are sailing with someone who has a child that's under that age and not able to get the vaccine yet, you can actually file for an exemption. Now, they're only going to be able to give this exemption to less than 5% of the folks that are sailing. So it's sort of a wait and see type of process. Carnival will get back to you and let you know if your exemption has been granted or not. So that's very tough. But again, Carnival is requiring that all but 5% of their passengers be vaccinated as they start back up. Now, since that's the case, they are not requiring masks on board, but they did note that a lot of the protocols that would be visited might have restrictions there in the port. I know the folks that were sailing on Royal Caribbean, that first cruise on Adventures of the Seas, they visited Cozumel and they did have to wear masks while in the port. So it's going to vary depending on what port of call that you're in, whether you have to wear a mask in that port of call. But as long as you're on the Carnival vessel itself, you do not have to wear masks. In addition to these cruises starting in places like Galveston and Miami, most of the major North American cruise lines have announced plans to sail Alaska this summer season starting in July. Carnival Cruise Line is currently scheduled to sail the Carnival Miracle from Seattle, Washington up to Alaska beginning on July 27th. Speaking of Carnival Cruise Line, and if you watch my channel, you know I sort of have a bias there. We finally have a confirmed inaugural sailing for the Carnival Mardi Gras. And I say inaugural because Carnival's calling this a pre-inaugural cruise because they anticipate they're going to have an actual naming ceremony and inaugural celebration later on once a lot of these protocols are lifted. But the Carnival Mardi Gras is going to have its first sailing from the United States with passengers on July 31st. And folks, I'm going to be on board. I was able to get a spot, get a room. I'm so excited. I can't wait to go on the Mardi Gras. I have been looking forward to this for over a year, and I can't wait to take you along with me. So make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss out on that inaugural sailing of the Mardi Gras coming the last weekend in July. Now, once we get out of July, Carnival does have plans to start sailing more of their ships. In addition to cruises from Galveston, Port Canaveral, Miami, and those Alaska sailings out of Seattle, they do anticipate to start offering Carnival Panorama sailings from Los Angeles beginning on August the 21st. So all good news there as we slowly start to see these sailings ramp back up again. In addition to being on the Carnival Mardi Gras inaugural at the end of July, I'm also going to be on the Carnival Horizon the first week in September, right around Labor Day, and I'll also be bringing that to you right here on the channel. That's my third cruise of the summer, so 3 cruises between now and Labor Day. But it will be my first time on the Carnival Horizon, so I'm excited about that. But it will be interesting to see from the cruise I take here in about a week on Royal Caribbean's Adventures of the Seas, to the cruise I take on the Mardi Gras, to then about a month later the cruise I take on the Carnival Horizon. It's going to be interesting to see how the protocols change, how capacity on the ships change, how a whole host of things change and evolve as we get further and further into the fall and more ships hopefully get to sailing. Now back to the Carnival Mardi Gras. I did want to mention a little bit more about it in this video, as I've been highly anticipating this cruise ship for a long time, as most folks have. It actually made its arrival into Port Canaveral a few weeks ago for the first time. It had been hanging out over in Barcelona. They finally brought it home to much fanfare. There were thousands of folks out there at Jetty Park waiting for the ship when it came into Port Canaveral. Everyone's just so excited about this new ship. Of course, Mardi Gras will be the first major North American cruise ship to utilize liquid natural gas. So that was pretty big news the first time that it was refueled. So much anticipation surrounding that ship. And here's a little bit more of what we know currently about the Mardi Gras. And some of the sneak peeks of some of the pictures that we've already seen come from the ship. Now, of course, the name Mardi Gras itself comes from the TSS Mardi Gras, which debuted in 1972 and was the first Carnival cruise ship that set sail. The Mardi Gras will be sailing from Port Canaveral and will be offering 7-day itinerary to both the Eastern and Western Caribbean. That Eastern itinerary is actually the one I'm going to be on and features stops in Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, and Grand Turk, while the Western itinerary hits up Costa Maya, Mahogany Bay, and Cozumel. Now, unique to the Mardi Gras will be 6 theme zones around the ship. Of course, this is the largest ship that Carnival's ever done. Those 6 theme zones are: Grand Central will be the atrium area and will feature high ceilings that hint at fun living on 3 decks above, and floor-to-ceiling windows bringing in the ocean views. Here you will be not far away from great dining at Bonsai Sushi and Bonsai Teppanyaki, and good entertainment at Piano Bar 88 and the Punchliner Comedy Club. Next is the French Quarter. French Quarter will be lined with bars, eateries, and spots serving up everything from small plates to classic hurricane cocktails straight from the bayou. Also, Mardi Gras will set sail with Emeril Lagasse's first ever restaurant at sea, Emeril's Bistro 1396. Next is Summer Landing. Summer Landing is the greatest chill spot at sea. Summer Landing will feature Guy's Pig and Anchor Smokehouse and Brewhouse. So this is the area of the ship that's going to feature a pool and a place to hang out outdoors with great food just nearby. Next up is La Piazza, and this is where Cucina del Capitano is going to be located, while the Pizzeria del Capitano will be where you can get that pizza 24 hours a day. Mardi Gras is also going to debut a new Mediterranean spot where you'll sip authentic espresso drinks by day and classic Italian cocktails by night. Of course, who can forget the Lido Deck? And onboard Mardi Gras, the Lido Deck will feature delicious and fun ways to spend your days. You can take in a dine-in movie at the pool, and you're not far away from signature Carnival favorites like Guy's Burger Joint, Seafood Shack, and Blue Iguana Cantina. And the 6th area on Mardi Gras will be the ultimate playground, and this is where we're going to find Bolt, which is going to be the first roller coaster at sea. It's also going to have the largest Carnival waterworks ever, in addition to Sports Square, which features an entire mini golf course, a full court basketball, and a ropes course. So those all sound like fantastic areas, and I can't wait to see them all come to life on board the Mardi Gras. Now, in addition to those new areas of the ship, Carnival's also announced some new features of the ship, dining and entertainment, that will be unique to the Mardi Gras that we haven't seen on any of their ships before. Now, of course, these include Emerald's Bistro 1396, which I already talked about, but they also include Street Eats, which is Carnival's tribute to the food truck phenomena. There's one station specializing in steamed stuff like bayo buns and shamami, one that puts the skill in skillet with the likes of kebab and satay, and one that fries up favorites like empanadas and falafel. Also new for the Mardi Gras will be Family Feud Live. Hosted by the ship's cruise director, the show will take place in Mardi Gras' Grand Central Zone. Every sailing will host 4 unique games where you can choose to participate or join the studio audience for the chance to complete in the Insta-Family version of the game. In addition to new areas of the ship and new experiences on the ship, Carnival's also going to be debuting new styles all around the ship. Now, the rooms in general, if you just have a standard interior or ocean view or balcony, they're going to look different. I've already seen great renderings of what these rooms might look like, but there's also going to be some new types of rooms. Now, of course, rooms like the Havana Staterooms, the Family Harbor rooms, those will all come from the Vista class over to the Mardi Gras class, but we are also going to be introduced to some new types of staterooms. These new rooms are mostly suites, which are going to be found only on Mardi Gras. These include the Carnival Excel suites, which will feature a bathroom with a spacious shower, double sink, and lots of room for living and lounging, plus a dining area and 2 TVs with extra space for kicking back on your balcony, featuring lounge chairs and a dining table that seats 4. Now, there will be multiple types of Carnival Excel suites, including the Carnival Excel Corner Suite, the Carnival Excel Aft Suite, which will actually be on the back corner of the cruise ship, and these look amazing. They overlook the summer landing portion of the ship on the very back portion of the ship. So they'll include all those amenities of the standard Carnival Excel suite, plus they'll have that wraparound balcony. These look amazing. And then the Carnival Excel Presidential Suite, the largest room on the ship, features a separate living room and bedroom with TVs, a walk-in closet, and a large sofa with a coffee table, a dining area that seats 4, and a wet bar. In addition to all this, there's also going to be a hot tub on the wraparound balcony with seating and lounging, including 4 at the al-fresco dining table. That sounds absolutely amazing, but also sounds way out of my budget for a cruise. We're also going to see another new area on a Carnival cruise ship that we haven't seen on any cruise ship before. However, it's going to be limited to only certain guests. I think some of those in some of those higher suites. And we've seen this on some of the other cruise lines already in some of the areas that they have exclusive to suite guests, and now it's come to Carnival with Loft 19. Loft 19 will be located on the ship's highest deck and is a new concept offering you an exclusive and secluded retreat with a full bar and private pool surrounded by sun loungers and cabanas available for rent. Cabanas are stocked with beverages, plush robes, chilled towels, fresh fruit, lunch delivery, and dedicated concierge service. Now, as I mentioned, this will be an exclusive area of the ship, and only those guests that have booked one of the 32 Excel suites on board the Mardi Gras will be enabled access to Loft 19. Now, they will be offering access to folks who want to pay. You will have to purchase one of those cabanas for the full day, and it looks like prices for those are going to come at $50 a day on port day and $150 on sea day. So folks, the Carnival Mardi Gras sounds absolutely incredible, and I'm so excited to be sailing on its first ever voyage coming up on July 31st. And like I said, I'll have ship tours, room review. I'm actually going to be staying in a spa interior room. So I'll have access to the spa and I can review that for you, but you don't want to miss it. So make sure you subscribe down below so that you can go along with me with all 3 of the cruises that I have starting on the channel in just under a week, the last weekend in June, and then continuing through Labor Day, and then into the fall we'll have those cruise vlogs on the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know down in the comments how excited you are. You've seen and heard how excited I am. Let me know how excited you are about cruising starting back up again. And I'll see you all in the next adventure very soon from the high seas.